All right, welcome back everybody. Today I am in the shop and I'm bending up a pair of 1941 Ford pickup truck frame rails. I have one finished up that's sitting here just behind me, and I'm going to bend up the other one here for you guys in just a few minutes. I just wanted to let you know that I get a lot of good feedback from everybody in my comment section, and a lot of people are really helpful in trying to help me optimize with like tooling changes and like telling me I need to get a secondary machine and all this stuff, and that's great and it's super appreciated, but you have to remember that frame rail bending is not my main business model. You know, I'm a coach builder, metal shaper, and just an overall fabricator more so than just specifying in frame rail bending. So, you know, like I just changed the tooling over to go from the easy way to the hard way again, and that's the first die change I've had to do in 6 weeks. So in the grand scheme of things with optimizing my tool changes and becoming more efficient in that stuff, you're kind of splitting hairs at this point. You know, if it takes me an extra 10 minutes to do it the way I do it versus, you know, using cordless impacts and, you know, an electric hoist, 10 minutes spread over 6 weeks isn't that big of a deal. It's not like I'm doing 2 to 3 die changes a day every day. Those are very few and far between where I'm putting hard way and easy way bends on the same rail. So with that out of the way, I'm going to get to bending this. Again, this is a custom frame rail for a 1941 Ford pickup truck. So if you guys have any needs for custom frame rails or sections of mandrel bent 2x4 tubing, hit me up. You can email me at cornfieldcustomsltd@gmail.com, or you can just drop down in the comment section and we can talk about it from there. So let's get to bending and we'll get the matched rail to the one behind me all wrapped up. So I already have all of our dimensions laid out on this tube because I lay them out in pairs, just like in all the other videos. They're clamped together. I lay all the dimensions out together, so I know that they're exactly the same once they're laid out. So I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to lubricate the end of the tube, we'll get it pushed into the bender, and we'll get this rail bent. All right, so we're extending our mandrel out. And we'll use our guide here. We'll make sure our line is lined up. We'll extend our clamp die. We'll extend our pressure die. And again, if you guys have not watched any of the other tube bending videos yet, check them out, especially where I talk about what the mandrel is and kind of walk you through on what the mandrel does, how it works, and its main goal inside the tube. Plus some of the other videos, I talk more about the clamping die, the pressure die, and everything involved. So now that everything's clamped, the first bend is 7 degrees, so we'll go ahead and get that one bent. And then we'll retract the mandrel out. And we'll reverse the spindle. So from there, I'll go ahead and re-extend our mandrel, which will help push the tube out a little bit. And while that's done, I'm going to go ahead and flip our tube. Because the second bend is 180 degrees out. So then I'll pull our tube the rest of the way out to get our mark lined up using our gauge there. We can extend our clamp die, extend our pressure die, and while that's doing that, I'm going to come in and I'm going to change our bend angle from 7 degrees to 40 degrees. Everything's in the green, so we're good to bend. Then we're good to retract our mandrel back out. Retract the pressure die. Retract our clamp die. Move our swing arm out of the way again. Then we can reverse the spindle. Once that's zeroed, we can go ahead and repeat the process on the next bend. I'm going to move the camera so you guys can watch the touchscreen controller so you can see more of the input needed. So I'm going to extend the mandrel to help push the tube out a little bit. And I'm going to rotate it. Since this bend is also 180 out from our previous bend, we'll line that up with our gauge. Then we can extend our clamp die. And you can see I touch the clamp, and when it's red, it's in motion, and then it's extended. So we'll do the same thing with our pressure die. So you can see that it's in the retracted. We're going to extend. It's red, so it's in movement. And when it turns green, it's in full extension. And I'm going to change our bend angle from 40 to 27, which is noted in our bend worksheet. And then we're ready to bend. So with our bend completed, we can retract our mandrel, and you can see it's in the red and it's going to come to the retract column. And we'll retract our pressure die, which is doing the same. And we'll retract the clamp. Now, when everything comes to green, I can move our swing arm out of the way, and then I can reverse the spindle and the main die back to zero. So looking at our bend worksheet here, bend 1 was at 7 degrees, and then bend 2 was 180 from that bend at 40 degrees. Bend 3 was 180 degrees from the previous bend and at 27 degrees. So bend 4 is not rotated, and it's at 10 degrees. So from there, I'll pull the tube out and we'll keep on bending, but at least this way you can kind of see how I keep track of where I am, which way the tube needs oriented, our bend degree, which is our actual angle, but then it tells us our calculated spring degree as well to compensate for spring back. All right, with the mandrel extended, we'll slide the tube back in. We'll get our bend mark lined up. Extend the clamp die. Extend our pressure die. Double check that I've already set our bend angle to 10 degrees. And we're ready to bend. Then we'll retract everything back out again. Everything's in motion, so we did our mandrel, we did our pressure die, now we're doing our clamp die. And I've got a cart set behind us here that I'm using to help support the tube. Swing arm's pushed out of the way, and we'll retract the spindle back to zero. Our next bend angle is at 10 degrees as well. So we'll just go ahead and extend the mandrel. And I'll help slide the tube out. And this bend is 180 out. So we need to flip our tube. Get that lined up on our mark. Extend our clamp. Extend the pressure die. And we will bend to 10 degrees and retract everything back out. All right, on our bend worksheet here, I've gone all the way down and we have one bend left, which is bend 6, and that's at 11 degrees, and it is at the same rotation as our previous bend, so I just need to change our bend angle in the bender, and we're going to go from 10 to 11, and then I'll extend the mandrel out and get lined up on our final bend mark. Extend our clamp die one more time. Extend our pressure die one more time. And we're ready for our final bend. Then we can retract everything out for the last time. From there, I'm just going to turn our pump off so we don't have to listen to it. And from here, I just got to slide the tube out and we can get it cleaned up and set it with the other rail. While I've got the rail set up on this cart, I'm just going to wipe everything down again with some lacquer thinner. Get any of the extra bending lubricant off, as well as wipe off any of our layout marks so everything's nice and clean and looks good when it heads off to the customer. All right, that wraps up this pair of frame rails. They're for a 41 Ford pickup truck. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video as well as a lot of the other tube bending videos. If this is what you want to see, let me know and I'll keep producing more mandrel bent videos. If you want to see other stuff, drop down in the comment section and let me know that too. I can cater the channel to be more about what you guys want to see. So I need that input from you guys so I can keep the channel growing into what you're wanting to watch. So I want to thank you guys so much for checking out the channel, checking out this video, as well as some of my other videos. Make sure to drop down in the comment section. Let me know what you think. If you haven't become a subscriber yet, please subscribe. It really helps out. And also, if you want more day-to-day updates on what I'm getting into in the shop, check out my Facebook and Instagram. I'm Cornfield Customs on both. So check that out, and hopefully I'll see you in the comment sections. And thanks for watching, and we'll catch you on the next one.